Danny Gilfillan for Boxing News. Delighted to be joined by the engine, Ekow Essuman, over Zoom. Ekow, we are less than 2 weeks out from the fight against Jack Catterall. Huge opportunity for yourself on a massive platform. How are we feeling compared to this sort of time frame away from fights you've had previously? Does it feel any different?
It doesn't feel much more any different. I know it's a big fight, but every fight's a big fight. The differences is I've just been the camp is camping, but I'm enjoying it. I'm really taking it in, learn a lot of new things to use in the fight, and I'm excited to fight and show people the world level performance.
Is Jack Catterall someone you've had your eye on for a while? He's spent the vast majority of his career down at 140. You've been essentially a career welterweight, but he made the move up a year and a half ago. Is he someone who you thought you'd cross paths with?
Not necessarily. I've liked his style. I've watched a couple of his fights. Very patient, very methodical in what he does. And I never really, he wasn't on my radar in terms of fighting him, but still watched him, still analyzed a lot of things that he did. So him moving up to welterweight, it doesn't really bother me. Not saying he's not a good opponent. He's a very credible, very capable opponent, and he'll have his whole box of tricks and new tricks from the new trainer coming into the match. But I'm excited for them.
We'll circle back to Jack in a couple of minutes, but I want to talk about life since the Josh Taylor victory. You'd been waiting a long time for a fight of that magnitude, an opportunity against a world level operator, of course, former undisputed champion Josh Taylor. You flipped the script that night up in Scotland. Has the confidence you feel in yourself changed at all? I mean, it's one thing believing you can do it. You went out and did it. People talk about the confidence winning a world title, and whilst there might not have been a title on the line that night, you beat a world level fighter. Do you feel any different off the back of that fight?
Oh yeah, former undisputed champion, beating him in the fashion that I did. I knew I could do it. I knew I would do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have grabbed the opportunity with both hands as soon as it was mentioned to me. I think it was more just proving to everyone else I belong at that level, and I know it in myself, and I know that I will be a world champion. So just like before, it's about proving to everyone else I belong at the level, and I need my world title honours.
How much has the 24 rounds Jack Catterall shared with Josh Taylor come into your preparation for this fight?
How much of not too much. I mean, I've shared rounds with Jack myself, so it's more of getting the style, the essence of his style, and knowing what I do best and making the little changes that will just give him absolute hell.
You've brought me on to the next question quite nicely there when you referenced the sparring story. From what you're willing to say, I know fighters tend to be respectful and keep sparring stories to the gym, but what are your recollections of the round you did share with Jack Catterall?
Oh, there's nothing bad to say. I mean, sparring, just like you said, sparring. You spar to practice things, to make mistakes, to learn how to better those mistakes. Some fighters don't spar as good as they fight. Some fighters spar better than they actually fight. So you can't take too much away from sparring. I got an essence for his style. What made him when I sparred him ahead of the Josh Taylor fight, I wanted to see just how he presented himself and apply that to how it would have affected Taylor, so I could kind of mimic certain aspects of that to frustrate Taylor. And I got a good essence for his style. So I've got a good essence for what could possibly be in front of me next week. However, I know he's made changes to his style, and I've made changes to my style. So I'm looking forward to showing him what I've done.
Jack's old coach, Jamie Moore, was asked in an interview with IFL about the sparring, and he was complimentary of you. He said you were up there with the fittest fighters he's ever seen in the gym, but he said based on the sparring, he's predicting Jack to win comfortably. He said he might even stop you. When you see comments like that, firstly, you can of course, respond to them? And secondly, does that give you a bit more fire under the belly to silence comments like that?
Oh yeah, I live for silencing comments like that. I mean, Taylor said in our press conference he thought the fight could have even ended early, but we all know how that ended. And is it fair enough to Jamie Moore, but to be honest, his opinion is none of my business, and I don't care for what he has to say in terms of that because it just doesn't matter to me.
Of course, Jack's no longer with Jamie. He's made the switch over to America, working with Bozy Ennis, who, of course, got his son Jerome, Andy Cruz, a lot of talented fighters. What do you think we're going to see a different Jack Catterall than we've seen before? Are you preparing for a slightly different Jack Catterall?
I'm preparing for a slightly different Jack Catterall. Yeah, don't think he's not going to change trainer to be exactly the same. Don't know if he's had long enough to make the deep-rooted changes that he needs to, or when it gets hot in the kitchen, if he's going to revert back to old Jack. But I'm going to be there to find out and win regardless.
You'll have, of course, some physical advantages, Ekow, as the natural welterweight. People will tip you as the fitter fighter in there. Does success in this fight come down to you being able to disrupt that rhythm that Jack Catterall likes to get into?
Success in this fight comes down to me just being the best me and using the tricks that I've got in store for him.
And the final one on the fight, Ekow. What happens? What happens when Ekow Essuman steps in with Jack Catterall at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Jack Catterall becomes the next victim of my success.
And the very last question of all, got to get your prediction for the main event. Chris Eubank Jr, Conor Benn 2, repeat the revenge.
Oh, it's a hard one. I'm leaning to repeat more so. However, because I'd always think round 13, but I know Ben will have a bee in his bonnet over how he could have executed certain things in the match. He's got better experience of what he needs to do, so he could have really worked hard on them, and we could see a completely different fight. However, I know Chris has his other trainer who stepped in, so he'll be more methodical and precise with what he does. So it will be close, but I am leaning more towards round 13. Repeat.
We shall see. Ekow, appreciate the time. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Just like to say thanks to everyone that's been showing me support, believing in me from many fights before, and stay locked in, keep tuned in. The engine's going to do what I do best.
We shall see. Ekow, thank you very much, mate. I'll let you get on.
Thanks for having me.